Kindness blooms even in the coldest winter.
Welcome to Fairy Tales English Journey. Have you ever heard of a magical old man who could bring dead trees back to life? Today we will explore a beautiful story about kindness and magic. This classic tale will help you learn English while enjoying a wonderful adventure filled with amazing surprises. In our story today, we meet a gentle old man and his lovely wife. They lived a simple life in a quiet village long ago. They did not have much money, but their hearts were full of love. Their story teaches us that true wealth comes from being good to others. Are you ready to practice your English listening skills? Pay close attention to the new words and phrases you will hear. We will discover how a loyal pet changed the lives of his owners forever. Let us begin our magical journey into the famous tale of the old man and his dog. Long ago, in a small village surrounded by green mountains, lived a kind old couple. They were very happy together, but they had one great sadness. They never had any children to love and raise. Instead, they poured all their love into their small garden and the beautiful nature around them. One bright morning, the old man found a tiny white puppy wandering near his house. The puppy looked hungry and very lonely. The old man smiled and gently picked up the small dog. He carried the puppy inside to show his wife, and they decided to keep him as their own. They named the sweet puppy Shiro, which means white in their language. Shiro grew up surrounded by warmth and delicious food. The old couple treated him like the child they never had. Shiro loved his new parents very much and followed the old man everywhere he went during the day. Every day, the old man went to the mountains to gather wood for their fire. Shiro always walked right beside him, wagging his fluffy tail. They enjoyed the fresh air and the singing birds. The old man would talk to Shiro, and the smart dog would bark happily in return. Next door to the kind couple lived a very greedy and mean old man. He and his wife were jealous of everyone around them. They hated animals and always yelled at Shiro when he walked by. The greedy neighbor wanted to be rich without having to work hard for his money. One sunny afternoon, the good old man was digging in his garden. Shiro started to bark loudly at a specific spot near a large tree. The dog dug at the dirt with his small paws. The old man walked over to see what his furry friend had found in the ground. The old man thought Shiro had found a buried bone. He used his wooden spade to dig where Shiro was pointing. Suddenly, his spade hit something hard and shiny. To his great surprise, he uncovered a large box filled with shining gold coins and beautiful sparkling jewels of many colors. The kind old man could not believe his eyes. He thanked Shiro and carried the heavy box into his humble home. He and his wife were now very wealthy, but they remained humble. They shared their new treasure with the poor villagers and bought nice things for their loyal dog Shiro. The greedy neighbor heard about the treasure and felt very angry. He believed he deserved the gold more than the kind couple. He walked over to their house and demanded to borrow Shiro for a day. The kind old man did not want to say no, so he agreed politely. The greedy neighbor dragged poor Shiro into his own yard. He forced the dog to sniff the ground and find more gold. Shiro was very frightened and did not want to help the mean man. He finally stopped near a smelly garbage pile and scratched the dirt to escape the pulling. The greedy man grabbed his shovel and started digging with great excitement. He expected to find a massive box of shiny gold coins. Instead, he only found smelly garbage and old ruined things. The terrible smell made him completely furious, and he blamed the innocent little dog for his bad luck. In his terrible anger, the cruel neighbor struck poor Shiro. The blow was too hard, and the sweet dog tragically passed away. The greedy man did not care at all. He buried Shiro right there in the dirt and rudely told the kind old man that his dog had suddenly died. The kind old man and his wife cried for many days. They lost their precious friend and felt a deep pain in their hearts. They went to the spot where Shiro was buried and placed sweet-smelling flowers on the dirt. They mourned their beloved pet with genuine love and sorrow. To honor Shiro, the old man planted a small pine tree over the grave. He watered it every single day with his own tears. Magic filled the air, and the pine tree grew incredibly fast. In just a few short months, it became the tallest and strongest tree in the village. One night, the kind old man had a vivid dream. Shiro appeared to him looking happy and healthy. The dog spoke with a gentle voice and told the old man to cut down the magical pine tree. Shiro said to make a wooden mortar from the tree to pound rice inside. The old man woke up and immediately followed the instructions from his dream. He respectfully cut down the beautiful pine tree and carved a large wooden mortar. He and his wife decided to make special rice cakes to honor the memory of their dear dog on the anniversary of his passing. The old man placed the boiled rice into the new wooden mortar. He lifted his heavy wooden mallet and began to pound the rice. Suddenly, a wonderful miracle happened right before their eyes. The soft white rice transformed into shining gold coins with every single strike of the heavy wooden mallet. Gold coins overflowed from the wooden mortar and covered the floor. The kind couple realized that Shiro was still watching over them from heaven. They felt incredibly grateful for this magical gift. Once again, they shared their immense wealth with the poor people living in their quiet little mountain village. The greedy neighbor looked through the window and saw the shining gold. His heart filled with intense jealousy and dark greed. He rushed to the kind old man and begged to borrow the magical wooden mortar. The kind old man was always forgiving, so he let the greedy neighbor take it. The greedy man and his wife boiled a huge pot of rice. They placed the rice into the borrowed wooden mortar with greedy smiles. The man lifted the mallet and struck the rice, expecting to see gold. He struck it again and again, dreaming of the endless wealth he would possess. But instead of shiny gold coins, the rice turned into foul-smelling mud. The terrible smell filled their entire house and ruined their clothes. The greedy neighbor was completely enraged by this disgusting outcome. He grabbed an axe and smashed the beautiful wooden mortar into tiny pieces of broken wood. He threw the broken pieces of the wooden mortar into his fireplace. The wood burned away, leaving only a pile of gray ashes. When the kind old man came to ask for his mortar, the greedy neighbor yelled at him. He proudly admitted that he had burned the mortar to ashes. The kind old man felt very sad to lose the mortar. It was the last physical memory of his beloved dog Shiro. He humbly asked the greedy neighbor if he could collect the ashes. The mean neighbor laughed cruelly and told him to take the dirty ashes away from his house. The kind old man carefully gathered the ashes into a small basket. He walked home with a heavy heart and tears in his eyes. That very night, he had another magical dream about his loyal dog. Shiro appeared again, looking bright and surrounded by a warm, glowing light in the dark. In the dream, Shiro smiled and gave his master a new instruction. He told the old man to take the ashes and sprinkle them on the withered cherry trees. Shiro promised that the dead trees would bloom with beautiful flowers. The old man woke up feeling a strong sense of hope. It was the middle of a very cold and harsh winter. All the trees in the village were bare and completely lifeless. The old man took his basket of ashes and walked to his garden. He stood before a dead cherry tree and gently tossed a handful of the magical ashes. The moment the ashes touched the bare branches, a miracle occurred. Beautiful pink blossoms burst forth, covering the entire tree in vibrant color. The sweet smell of spring filled the freezing winter air. The old man laughed with pure joy and thanked his wonderful dog for this beautiful magical gift. The old man decided to share this amazing magic with everyone. He climbed up the dead trees along the village road. He sprinkled the ashes and watched the trees burst into glorious pink blossoms. The villagers came out of their houses and cheered for the beautiful flowers in the cold winter. Soon, a powerful and wealthy lord came riding through the village. His grand procession stopped because the road was filled with people. The lord looked up and saw the magnificent, blooming cherry trees. He was absolutely amazed to see spring flowers during the middle of such a freezing cold winter. The lord ordered his guards to find the person responsible for this. They brought the kind old man before the powerful lord. The old man bowed deeply and explained the magic of the ashes. He climbed a nearby dead tree and sprinkled the remaining ashes to demonstrate the wonderful miracle. Right before the eyes of the Lord, the dead tree blossomed. Pink petals danced in the wind, creating a breathtaking scene. The Lord was so delighted that he gave the old man many rich rewards. He gave him fine silk clothes and declared him the best tree doctor in the land. The kind old man returned home with his wonderful new gifts. He and his wife celebrated their good fortune with grateful hearts. The greedy neighbor heard about this and became completely consumed by envy. He wanted the Lord to give him fine silk clothes and shiny gold coins as well. The greedy man quickly gathered the leftover ashes from his fireplace. He ran down the road hoping to meet the wealthy Lord. He saw the grand procession approaching a large dead tree. The greedy neighbor climbed up the tree and waited for the powerful Lord to pass directly underneath him. When the Lord arrived, The greedy neighbor shouted loudly from the branches. He claimed that he was the real magical tree doctor. He grabbed a huge handful of ashes and threw them violently into the air. He expected the dead tree to instantly burst into beautiful pink spring cherry blossoms. But there was no magic in the heart of the greedy man. The ashes did not turn into lovely pink flowers at all. Instead, the wind blew the dirty gray ashes directly into the eyes of the Lord. The Lord coughed and rubbed his stinging eyes in great pain and anger. The dirty ashes also flew into the noses of the royal guards. Everyone was coughing and sneezing loudly in the dusty cloud. The beautiful royal procession was completely ruined by the foolish actions of the greedy man. The powerful Lord was absolutely furious and ordered his guards to capture him. The angry guards pulled the greedy neighbor down from the dead tree. They tied him up and scolded him for his terrible behavior. The Lord punished the greedy man severely for causing such a horrible mess. The greedy neighbor finally realized that his bad actions had brought him complete ruin. The greedy man and his wife had to leave the village forever. They walked away with nothing but the dirty clothes on their backs. They learned the hard way that greed and cruelty only lead to suffering. Nobody in the quiet little village ever saw the mean couple ever again. As for the kind old man and his gentle, loving wife, they lived the rest of their days in perfect peace and happiness. They used their wealth to help everyone in need around them. The beautiful cherry trees continued to bloom every year, reminding everyone of the loyal dog Shiro. This wonderful story teaches us many important lessons for our lives. The first lesson is about the power of genuine kindness and love. The old couple treated their dog with deep respect and care. In return, the loyal dog brought them endless blessings and protected them even from heaven above. The second lesson is about the terrible dangers of being greedy. The neighbor wanted wealth without earning it through hard work or kindness. His jealousy and cruel actions destroyed everything he touched in life. Greed blinds people to the beautiful things that already exist right in front of their eyes. We can also learn a lot of useful English from this tale. Notice how descriptive words help paint a picture in our minds. Words like magical and vibrant help us see the beautiful blooming trees. Practicing these descriptive words will make your English-speaking skills much stronger and more colorful. Think about the contrast between the two old men in the story. One is described as gentle and humble, while the other is cruel. Using contrasting words is a great way to improve your English vocabulary. Try to write down 5 pairs of opposite words you heard in this story. The magic in this story comes from a pure and honest heart. The wooden mortar and the ashes only worked for the kind man. This shows that our intentions matter more than the tools we use. When we do things with a good heart, beautiful miracles can happen every day. Thank you for joining Fairy Tales English Journey for this magical tale. We hope you enjoyed learning English with the story of Hanasaka Jiisan. Practice reading the story aloud to improve your English pronunciation skills. Sharing this story with your friends is a wonderful way to practice speaking English together. If you loved this story, please remember to like this video. Subscribing to our channel helps us create more wonderful English learning content. Leave a comment below and tell us what you would do with magical ashes. We love reading your creative answers and seeing your English skills grow stronger. Keep practicing your English every single day with joy and excitement. Every new word you learn brings you closer to your language goals. We will see you next time for another exciting adventure in learning. Until then, stay kind, stay curious, and let your heart bloom like a magical tree.